The New York Jets have many questions to answer as we head into a very pivotal offseason. We're going to explore one of them right now. Boy Green Daily begins, now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. Right off the top rope, baby. Wearing the hat today for you. JWW, Jets Worldwide, representing our boy Snowball and, of course, Johnny Boy. Johnny, we're thinking about you, man. Keep healing up. Whatever news you continue to get, we are going to be here for you, and we'll continue to be here for you. Let's go. You're the man, Johnny Boy. And just remember this all-important question, no matter what's happening at that hospital.
Who wanna fly with them? Yeah!
There you go. Just want to show my love to Johnny Boy, who I'm sure will call in when we open up the phone lines halfway through the show. So love you, Johnny. Johnny. Jets Worldwide, wide. Get well soon, Johnny, and all the wonderful messages in the comment section. We appreciate you. All right, before we get to the love at hand here, I see we have some memberships flying in off the top rope. Let's freaking go. More members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. All right, let's start off with our boy, Mother Effing Chew Baby, MFC. 3 of the most dangerous letters in the Boy Green Coffee Club community. Absolutely love it. So thank you, MFC. We'll add that to your raffle total, which, by the way, is at 7 raffle tickets, my friend. Thank you very much. We'll read who that new member of the Boy Green Coffee Club is after we reveal the 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club, because our number 1 Austrian Jets fan is jumping in. Hey, 5 memberships or more means we must hear from a special someone. Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
So you are going to want to start your engines because, first off, our number 1 Austrian Jet fan is now up to 22 raffle tickets, which leaps into second place in our contest, jumping over Peter Castro and Neil Sr., who we appreciate. But now number 1 Austrian Jet fan has taken second place right behind our guy, Johnny Boy, with all the people that have donated some wonderful raffle tickets to our guy, Johnny Boy, which is awesome. So thank you, everyone in the universe, for all of the love so far, and keep those coming because, we got a great contest hitting you. We'll get more into that in a little bit, but here are all the new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Let's give some shout outs. Austrian, yours went to Boss Luke, Ithaca Audits, Luis Montez, Donna, and Jeremy, all getting Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. And MFC, your coffee club membership went to Jetpack615. Welcome to the Boy Green Coffee Club. By the way, if you are on YouTube, a couple of things here. First off, make sure you guys like the video. It's a free way to contribute. Hit that subscribe button, and also get involved in our YouTube poll. There's an interesting question, which leads us to our question that we're talking about here on the show. ESPN insider Rich Cimini revealed this. So let me reveal the thing, and then we'll say what Rich said about it. So this upcoming offseason, the Jets have a big decision to make. Will McDonald, the Jets' talented pass rusher, has a $14.94 million fifth-year team option coming up this offseason. By the first week of May, the Jets must decide whether they're going to accept that or decline that. Here's how it all works. If the Jets accept it, Will McDonald will be under contract for the 2026 season, and he'll be under contract for the 2027 season. If the Jets decline that option, he will be a free agent after 2026. So Will McDonald will not be a free agent this offseason, but the fifth-year option decisions have to be made after a player completes their third season, which Will is about to do here in 3 games. So they have to make a decision on this fifth-year option. And now here's what Rich Cimini said about this fifth-year option decision coming up for the Jets. Quote, once thought to be a no-brainer, this decision will require some careful thought. McDonald will probably lead the team in sacks for the second straight year, but 4 of his 7 came in 1 game. Consistency has been an issue, as most of his pass rushing metrics are down from last season. So the YouTube poll for everyone in our audience is this. If you were the Jets, would you accept or decline the fifth-year option if you were running the operations? So make sure you guys vote in the YouTube poll. We'll reference that throughout the show. I'm going to give you some stats that are a little jarring, and it's unfortunate. Because I just want to say this right off the top. I like Will McDonald. He's a unique personality. I love the origin stories. For those who don't know what that is, the New York Jets put out a documentary right before the season called Origins. They've done this before, so this is in the first season of Origins, but where they go to the player's hometown, they go to their high school coaches, they go to their middle school coaches, they go to colleges, and they get all kinds of cool stories that we've never heard before on these players. And I'm going to be honest, Will McDonald was a bit of a mystery man to me. I really didn't know much about his origin story outside of what we learned in the draft. And the origin story about him were fascinating. And what I try to do with my social media on Twitter is whoever is talking Jets in the universe, it could be SNY, it could be ESPN, it could be Origins, it could be anything. I try to share clips I find interesting. Okay. I try to share clips that I find interesting out to the universe on social media. And then I cite it and I say, hey, if you guys want to watch a full thing here, I like to promote great work that people do on the Jets. Anywho, so I watched this Will McDonald Origins documentary, and I share out some clips that are pretty moving. Will McDonald was living in a car at his job at McDonald's. Ironically enough, Will McDonald did work at McDonald's. So there's all this other stuff in the documentary, and I shared out some clips. And I was able, by sharing out those clips and those going viral, I got to interact with his coaches. They followed me on social media and DM'd. And then when the crazy play happened in week 3 where Will McDonald blocks the kick and we all go nuts, his coaches said that he texted that video to Will McDonald and thought it was awesome. My reaction of like, unbelievable, wow, the miracle, or whatever I said. I'll have to replay that, I guess, in a bit, maybe. But, and that was cool. So I got to connect with the coaches. So I like Will McDonald. I like all the connections to Will McDonald. But on this show, we have to keep it straight. We have to keep it straight. And I do want to answer this question, William. I'm going to put that on the back burner, okay, of what you just said. I put a star by it. I'll revisit your question that you just asked in the comment section because I think that's an important question. But let's first get to the raw numbers here, okay? So Will McDonald, okay, he's in the middle of his 3rd season. He's 26 years of age. In his 3 seasons so far, again, there's still 3 games left that will add to these totals, hopefully. But here are Will McDonald's raw numbers: 20.5 sacks, 46 quarterback hits, 3 forced fumbles. On the surface, whoa, 20.5 sacks. That's great production. 46 quarterback hits, great production. 3 forced fumbles, sure, not bad. Those sound pretty good, again, on the surface. But once you take a fine-tooth comb and you go through the numbers, and then you go through the numbers again, and then you go through the numbers again, what you're going to start to notice, folks, is irregularities in the stats. And I'm about to share them to you right now. There's also an article in the YouTube description down below that you guys can sort of follow along with. For those who don't know, again, I work for Heavy on Jets, which means I write Jets articles every day on things I find fascinating about the team. Rumors, news, contract decisions, speculation, all kinds of things. So let's use this season as an example. Again, the raw numbers of 20.5 sacks and 46 quarterback hits and 3 forced fumbles are super impressive for Will McDonald's career. But once you start putting a fine-tooth comb through it, all of a sudden now you're like, oh, I see. So let's use this season as an example. So McDonald this season has 7 sacks, 17 quarterback hits, and 10 tackles for loss, which again, sounds pretty good. That's not bad. But he has gone 5 straight games without a sack. That includes the blowout loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars. 6 of his 7 sacks this season came in 2 games. Okay. The Jets have played 14 games so far this season. They're 3-11. In 2 of those 14 games, Will McDonald had 6 of his 7 sacks. He had 2 sacks in the Week 1 season opener against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he had 4 more against Cleveland. So, in other words, in 12 of the 14 games this season, Will McDonald has 1 sack total. Think about that. In 12 games combined, Will McDonald has 1 sack. And you may say, well, Paul, that's a 1-year outlier. Like that's 1 year. It's actually not. Let's go back to last season. Through the first 7 weeks of the 2024 season, Will McDonald racked up 8 sacks, and he was among the league leaders in that category. We talked about it on the show. But across the final 10 games of last season, Will McDonald registered 2.5 total sacks. So across 10 games, 2.5 total sacks. So unfortunately, Will McDonald goes these long stretches, and it's, again, we've sort of got a strong sample size here. He goes through long stretches of seasons of being invisible, non-existent, where he's just not there. And the Jets now have to look themselves in the mirror and go, oh, is that worth paying? It's complicated because he's talented. He blocks field goals. He jumps over cars. He sacks the passer. I think there's a couple of problems here with old Willie. Number one, I think him being forced to be the number 1 pass rusher, I don't know if that is a role he can thrive in. I don't know. I think he would be better as a Robin to someone's Batman. As a matter of fact, he may even be better as a third guy because Will McDonald has proven to be a liability in run defense throughout his career. The numbers are pretty stark. He's among the worst run defenders in football across positions on defense, which is not good, which means that you have to try to play him on third down or third down / obvious passing situations. And then even in those situations, Will McDonald has disappeared. So I'm curious if everything stayed the same, but you just had more legitimate pass rushers, would Will McDonald perform better in his role? Not having to be the guy. And he could be, obviously, could be erased from games. That's happened throughout his career. So I'm curious if he wasn't just the guy, would he be better in a different part of the equation? That part is interesting to me. So this offseason, again, we go back to the decision. The Jets must decide on whether to accept or decline his $14.94 million fifth-year team option. For me, for much of the season, I said, obviously, duh. Like, why wouldn't you accept that? That makes all the sense in the world. And now I think it's even less about accepting or declining it personally, because I think the real decision is, do the Jets trade Will McDonald this offseason? Because if the Jets traded, let's say they traded him, the new league year starts in March. That's official when you can trade players, but you can agree to trades before that, and then it becomes official in March. Teams are going to be interested in Will McDonald because of what I just said. On a team where he's not the number 1 pass rusher, let's say he's the number 2 pass rusher, on a contender where they have a lot of leads, Will McDonald may be able to feast him. He may reach another level that we haven't seen defensively from Will McDonald. That's possible. And there will be teams interested. Apparently, there were second-round conversations for Will McDonald ahead of the trade deadline this year. The Jets, of course, declined those, and then Will McDonald's still here. But do they decide to trade Will McDonald? If they did decide to trade him, that fifth-year option decision would now belong to the new team. If the Jets traded him after May and they accepted or declined it, obviously that decision would no longer be up to the team. Whatever the Jets decided would be the decision made for Will McDonald moving forward. So that's interesting to me. And I'm not sure. And now let me throw up this question that was thrown in here by William Aimley. It's a good question. How much of the poor play is due to Steve Wilks' scheme? Right? So Will McDonald, right, we talk about that in 12 of the 14 games this season, he's had 1 sack. Is that because Steve Wilks sucked as a defensive coordinator? Or was that Will McDonald? It's an interesting question because, like I said, last year, when Steve Wilks wasn't here, Will McDonald experienced the same issues in the second half of the season. So I'm not sure the answer to that question. But it is worth pondering. It is another part of this equation. It certainly is. Certainly is worth evaluating and truly understanding whether that's a piece, because the Jets don't want to get that part wrong, right? You make these overarching takes on defensive players on this team. Like, we had a perspective, because I'm going to bring up Jermaine Johnson in a minute. And that's not what this article is about, but I'll bring up Jermaine Johnson in a minute because I think that's another interesting one. Let's just bring him up now. And then, like I said, keep voting on that poll. We'll keep going back to it on whether or not you think the Jets should accept or decline the fifth-year option for Will McDonald. We'll open up the phone lines. Jermaine Johnson is interesting. At the trade deadline, fans were sort of split. There was a strong part of the fan base, and I was among them. Don't trade Jermaine Johnson. Excuse me. He's the soul and heartbeat of this defense. Like, this guy cares so much. We want 53 Jermaine Johnsons if we could on the team. Don't trade Jermaine Johnson. And then there's another part of the fan base like, I don't know, man. I'd probably trade Jermaine Johnson. So what some other people say. Now we fast forward a bunch of weeks, and Jermaine Johnson numbers are inconsistent. Here they are, Jermaine Johnson stats here. Here's Jermaine Johnson numbers. This season he has 3 sacks, and he hasn't had a sack since the Patriots game on Thursday Night Football. So he's gone 4 straight games without a sack. And people are like, what the? Jermaine Johnson? What's going on there? We should trade him this offseason is what people are saying. And I just want to follow up with this. Folks, I think Jermaine deserves a little bit more grace, people. I really do. I talked about this yesterday on Boyd Green Meets Woody, our 3 o'clock afternoon show I do every Tuesday and Thursday. He's coming off a torn Achilles, man. Like, I think whatever the evaluation was, good or bad this season, I think we had to put that in its own package because he was coming off a torn Achilles. Every torn Achilles is a case-by-case basis. Everyone recovers differently. Some people are faster with their recovery. Some people are slower. Some people are back immediately. Some people aren't. So I don't think we can make any overarching takes on Jermaine Johnson. On Will McDonald, who there's no injuries to consider, you can have those conversations. But on Jermaine, he's coming off a torn Achilles, man. I don't think enough people are giving him grades. I'm hearing people rip Jermaine Johnson in the streets, and I'm like, whoa. What are we talking about here? Let's give some love to Jermaine Johnson, man. Now, if we see this going into next year, and then you evaluate the full picture, Jermaine Johnson's under contract next season. That's part of his 5th-year team option. Let's see how he performs there. If all of a sudden he explodes, how regretful will the Jets be if this offseason they go, Jermaine Johnson sucks, and they trade him and he blows up for another team? You're like, oh, he just needed more time for the Achilles. Well, Jets are going to look like a bunch of idiots. So I think, again, old Jermaine, I think deserves a little bit more grace. He's coming off an Achilles. There is no such grace for Will McDonald outside of the Steve Wilks scheme, which is a fair question by William. A very fair question. By the way, let's go to the question, the poll of the day. I'm curious where everyone's at, and look at it. It is 50-50, and it's splitting both ways. Will McDonald has essentially, I'll just call the number, a $14.94 million team option this offseason. If you're the Jets, you accept or decline. It is 50-50 right now. Now, 51% accept, of course. 49% say decline. That shows you how difficult this decision is for the New York Jets. That shows you how difficult it is as well. Let's get to the comment section. Let's see what the great people are saying in the audience. Again, if you're just joining us, you can check out the article in the YouTube description down below. As we weigh the decision, the Jets will be weighing whether or not to accept or decline the Will McDonald 5th-year option. Again, my overall arching take on Will McDonald is that I'm conflicted because he goes these long stretches of not having any production whatsoever. This season, in 12 of the 14 games Will McDonald has played, across 12 of the 14 games, he's had 1 sack in 12 games. That's not good. Again, it's not a one-year outlier either, because last year in the final 10 games of the season, Will McDonald only had 2.5 sacks after starting with a blistering pace of 8 sacks in the first 7 games. He finished with only 2.5 in the final 10. You're like, wow, that was weird. And then it happens again this year. Well, it's in the middle of happening. We'll see what the final 3 games reveal. Rio Ken on YouTube. So freaking dumb. If we weren't going to sign him, why didn't we trade him? This regime is idiotic. Watch, we lose Brees for nothing too. Yeah, we'll see. There is one. Well, here's the good news. On the Will McDonald, Jermaine stuff, they're both under contract for next year, so you won't lose them for nothing. If they move on, it'll be a trade situation. Brees, that could be lost for nothing. It all depends. There could be comp picks. There could be franchise tags. There's a lot of other conversation. Would you want to franchise tag him based on his recent level of play? There's a lot of stuff to unpack there. Good morning to the Coffee Club. We got Jared B., our moderator, in the chat. Shout out. William Aimley, good to see you, pal. Yes. Yeah. William Amley says we have so many holes to fill through trades, free agency, and the draft. Thankfully, we have a lot of avenues to do it, but yes, especially defensively. They need new defensive tackles. They need new pass rushers, a full new linebacking core. They need a new safety. They need a new corner. I mean, there's a lot of work. And defensive coordinator to boot. They need a play caller defensively. So, yes, they have a lot of work to do. Let's go to Mac Attack. Mahar says, good morning, Coffee Club. Keep Will. He could be a great supporting cast member. That's probably true. I don't know if he could be our lead actor, but he could be a good supporting character. I'm not saying just get rid of him if you trade him, by the way. I would only trade him for the right price. And what is the right price? Depends where that 2 is if someone offers a 2. Depends where that 2 is. And it also depends who the hell's the defensive coordinator. Are we running a 3-4? Are we running a 4-3? Do they fit in whatever the new defensive coordinator is? Is that a big factor when we're hiring a defensive coordinator? Hey, can you highlight the talent that we have? Do you want to get your own talent? What is it? That's a lot of good questions here. Again, prayers up for Johnny Boy, for sure. Yeah, let's go Knicks. They won the NBA Cup. Again, I don't know if you should be hanging a banner for that, but still cool. There you go, Knicks fans. LGK. LGK. There you go. Very nice. Austrian says those raffle tickets are for Johnny. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I missed that, Austrian. Let me revert back on the raffle tickets. Excuse me from earlier. We'll put you back to 17 and put Johnny Boy. Let's add those for Johnny. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll do this, Austrian. We'll put those back in there, but I will add that for Johnny Boy, who is amazing. So we will put that in for Johnny Boy. 36 raffle tickets for Johnny Boy. Thank you very much, Austrian. I'll add that to Johnny Boy's total here. That's very kind of you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I will share some extra love on that in a little bit. Good morning. Put that in for Johnny Boy. Excellent. Jared B., remember that block kick? I do. That was a lot of fun. I don't know if I still have the clip. We'll see if I do. Maybe I do. Let's see. It's a good question. Let me see if I have it in my files still. I may not have that in my files anymore, to be honest with you. Let me see. See if they're in there somewhere. Yeah. Oh, maybe this is it. Okay, we'll see. This may just be a random Jets highlight from the past, or this could be that Will McDonald play. Let's see. Let's see if this is it, Jared B. From week 3, New York Jets, Tampa Bay Buccaneers for my play-by-play and live watch party. Is this the clip I was looking for of Will McDonald blocking that kick? And I would say the coolest part of getting to do this play-by-play and watch party stuff where you guys can watch the game with me, Thursdays, Sundays, Saturdays, whatever the games are. The coolest thing has been these genuine reactions you're getting from me as the camera's on me. This has been cool to sort of revisit throughout the season. So let's see if this is it. I think this is. Oh, my goodness. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. We need a block. Will McDonald, is he on the edge? I can't see. But let's get a block, baby, or just a straight-up miss. Oh, Will McDonald blocked it. He blocked it. Oh, my God. Will McDonald got that. Will McDonald got that. Oh, my God. He's going to score a touchdown. Oh, my God. Will McDonald blocked it for a touchdown. Get out of here. Oh, my God, golly. Oh, the Jets got the miracle. The Jets got the miracle. Will McDonald blocked it and took it to the house. Oh, God, I tear up watching that just because it takes me back to that space, because if the Buccaneers kick that field goal over the Jets, we lose. We're down too deep. The only way the Jets could have had anything happen positive in their favor was they needed to block the kick, and that gave them a chance. In a perfect world, block the kick and take it to the house. You hear me before the play go, where's Will McDonald? Maybe he can do something crazy. And for me to say that and for it to happen, the emotions. I'm getting the goosies just thinking about it. That was awesome. It was a super cool play. I don't know why. Maybe I'm sure there is. Chris Bancho's been a really good special teams coordinator, so I'm sure they would have done that more if they could. Teams probably have some counter to it that I'm unaware of how they can prevent that from happening. But yeah, that was an emotional moment. And that's, again, the tantalizing nature that Will McDonald brings to the table, which is that's hard. That's hard to get rid of. That's hard to trade or do anything with. So, yeah. Fox Sports Talk says Will McDonald is a one-trick pony. Once a tackle puts their hands on Will, it's over. Maybe there is a case to be made for that. He's got a 6-spin move, which is really good. Old Yank says, I can't even vote. I have so many mixed opinions on it. Hopefully a change of defense coordinator will help. That's what I'm telling you. I think about that memory that Jared B just called up. I'm like, I don't want to get rid of that guy. That could have been one of the craziest plays in Jets history with a win. It gets sort of lost at a loss. It doesn't get lost for me. I will remember that forever. But, in the annals of history, that would have had a very different meaning if the Jets win that game. Of course, the defense immediately goes back out on the field and gives up a field goal to Baker Mayfield, and they lose. But it is complicated. Jared B, it's hard playing from behind. That's another good point. The Jets defense has been so bad this year that trying to rush the passer when you're down multiple scores has been difficult. The Jets have had 6 multi-score losses this season. 6 multi-score losses this season. That is difficult. That's another factor, Jared B, that's very fair. Fox Sports Talk. Can't you take something for irregularities? Yeah, there may be a medicine for that. I'm unaware of that. Not a doctor. Brian Farrell says, draft a quarterback, get Kirk Cousins as a stopgap and mentor. If you have not seen it, it's a great clip from Kirk Cousins. It's going viral from a message he shared about his father. And I'm going to butcher it because I didn't plan on ever retelling it. I just heard it, went, oh, that's good advice. But essentially, he says, you can use people around you to push yourself forward, or you can use yourself to push forward for the people around you. Again, I totally butchered whatever that quote was, but it is going viral from Kirk Cousins. And essentially, he's saying that it's easy to use the people around you to prop yourself up, but not enough people use their opportunity, which, as he says, he's once again the starting quarterback for the Falcons, to prop the people up around him. And I like Kirk Cousins, and I think he did himself a lot of favors because, Jet fans think of Kirk Cousins. They think of this dick that used the Jets to get more money out of the Vikings, and that's true. That really did happen. So, his public perception took a massive hit when that whole documentary came out. Now, I don't know if he earned any credibility back with Jet fans, but he did save a lot of face when he saw the quarterback Netflix series, and you see him at home as a father. You see him at home as this normal guy, and then you see how he fights for his teammates and stuff like that. You're like, wow, there's another layer to the Kirk Cousins story. Obviously, you saw what he did in the upset win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the Thursday night game last week. There's something there at Kirk. He wouldn't be a terrible option, but again, I don't know if the Jets organization could look past their history. That may be a tough thing. But it's an interesting thought, Brian. Appreciate you. Another point by MFC here. I don't think any player can be fairly judged on this chaotic 24 Jets, which is difficult then. Because if you basically light a season on fire and say, it's hard to judge offense, defense, or special teams or anything, that's a difficult thing to move forward against. Boomtown 89ers here says McDonald 7 sacks this year, 2 against statue Aaron Rodgers, 5 against backup quarterbacks, including 4 against Dylan Gabriel, 0 sacks in the other games. I guess you could nitpick the quarterbacks, but production's production to me. But fair to say. But yeah, I mean, production's production. Myles Garrett, now that's probably a terrible example to use. He has 22 sacks this season, and he's lit up terrible quarterbacks. He's lit up good quarterbacks. Is a good balance. So, hey, you don't get to pick who you play. Taylor Sterling. Will McDonald lost me when he let Trevor Lawrence run for that touchdown. Where was the athleticism? Yes, on the 3rd and 17 play, Will McDonald had him for – Will McDonald could have had 2 sacks in the Jaguars game. One, he was held, so he had no choice. That was a penalty, and then he doesn't get it. And then the second one was that crazy Trevor Lawrence running all over the place when he was still in the backfield. Will McDonald had a chance for a sack, and he missed him, and then Trevor Lawrence scored a touchdown. So, yes, that's a fair point. Yeah, he was a little bit on skates there. Oh, good Lord. This is direct. John Holton here. I'm going to be honest. I want Will McDonald gone. I've never liked him or the draft pick. Waste. Trade him for the 5th. They will get waste of time and money. Jesus. Good Lord. Did Will McDonald piss in your Cheerios or what? I think they could do better than a 5th. Because here's the thing. Even with everything we've said so far, he had all these games where he didn't have a sack this season. Oh, this. The fact of the matter is, he is a pass rusher, which is a premium. He has production, 20.5 sacks over the last 3 seasons. Teams are going to value that. And the 5th-year option kicker, where you could have him for 2 years of control, that would be attractive to a team. So I imagine, at worst, I think the Jets could get a 3rd. Maybe if you get the right conversations, maybe you could squeeze out a 2nd. He's still young. He's athletic. You have the field goal blocking stuff. You have the sacks, the quarterback pressures. And while, again, us being Jet fans, right, we harshly criticize Will. And I'm not saying that's wrong. They're professionals. They're getting paid a lot of money. So we have every right to criticize any player for any reason on the team for football things or non-football things occasionally. But I think we could get much more. I'd be surprised if the Jets only got a 5th for Will McDonald if they decided to trade him. I'd be very surprised. I think at worst they get a 3rd. That's what a lot of these other pass rushers went for, like Jalen Phillips. And the thing about like a Jalen, he went for a 3rd, and he's basically a rental. Like Will McDonald, with the 5th-year option, would have an additional year to be utilized. So I think that's valuable too, which is why I bump it up to a 2nd. Jared B. It's akin to saying Bryce Huff lost his talent when he went to the Eagles. It's a scheme, yeah, because he went back to San Francisco with Saleh. He had some good things. It's a fair point. Yes, that's fair. Oh, more stuff here from John Holton. Elite players are elite no matter the scheme. He is simply a C-level end. Oh, good Lord. All right. Back to our moderator, Jared B. Who on this defense is playing great? Answer, no one. Who's playing great? I like what I've seen from Harrison Phillips this season, but it's hard for fans, it's hard to quantify that because it's not like he's getting 20 sacks or anything. So it's hard to quantify his impact. Jawan Briggs, I've really liked this season. Again, same. It's sort of hard to quantify his impact. He's had like 3 sacks this season, but the Jets are getting run all over. So then, by all these teams, Travis Etienne, Bijan Robinson, Devon Achane. You can't say any of the linebackers. You can't say any of the corners. Brandon Stevens had some rough moments this year, good moments, average moments. Jarvis Brownlee Jr. had highs and lows. Azaria Thomas out for the year. Quantas Stiggers had a lot of struggles in this past game against Jacksonville. None of the safeties. Yeah, I guess no one, which is a very sad thing to say. But there's still some talent on this team. But and playing great, yeah, I can't pick anyone. Ant Jets 82, our guy. Send him and do a pick swap. I'm tired of making excuses for players. We could have had Jack Campbell or JSN. Yeah, the JSN one hurts. Jackson Smith and Jigba. He would have been a great combination with Garrett Wilson, and we wouldn't have had to worry about that second receiver. That's true. That's fair. We wouldn't have had that cool week 3 moment, though. But, yes, we could have had JSN, who's could get 2,000 yards. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. Yeah, and C. Green saying, to think we could have had JSN. He was there. He was sitting on the board, yes. MFC says, JJ's never been a sack monster, and he's useful against the run and is smart. Yeah, so his first year he barely plays, gets 2.5 sacks. The year after that, he gets 7.5 sacks, and then we're here with the Achilles where he only has 3. Well, I also skipped the year where he blew out the Achilles where he had nothing. So he had 2.5, 7, nothing last year, 4th year, which is now, where he has 3, and then he has 1 more year left on his deal. Yeah, I was hoping that he could be Calvin Pace from the pass rushing perspective of a guy that gets in between 5.5 and 7.5 sacks every year. Not sure if there's the double-digit element, which would be awesome, but 5.5 to 7.5, that's valuable. Not everyone is going to be a double-digit sack master, so that could be valuable. Jamal Joseph here says, need a complete defensive roster turnover. I agree. I think you got to light the entire thing on fire. I concur. Yep, that's true. Yes, Jermaine's a leader. I love that about him. I absolutely love that about him. Yeah. Fox Sports Talk says it wouldn't be a difficult decision if Will McDonald could play against the run. Yeah, and I don't know if that's ever going to change. Is a leopard, right? He's always had the weight issues and then the run defense stuff. Is suddenly one day he's just going to show up and that's not going to be a problem? Or maybe that's just the player he is. I don't know. It goes back, though, in a different way to Easy. You know how Easy brings up Denzel Mims? I wouldn't say brings up Denzel Mims all the time. But when Denzel Mims was here, the Jets said, hey, know every wide receiver position. And he couldn't get on the field. But us fans said, okay, maybe he doesn't know every wide receiver position, but does he know one? And he could sort of have a package of plays for the one. I understand it's harder to work in a guy that doesn't know everything. If he knows everything, you could put him in all these places and use him a lot. But, can you use him a little if he just knows how to do this? For Will McDonald, does he have to be able to be good to stop the run? There are pass rushers in the league that are really good pass rushers, but suck against the run, and they're in the league and doing okay. So can that exist for Will? I don't know why it couldn't. Shout out to Hop on Pop. Hop on Pop's in the chat. Appreciate you. Shout out to Hop on Pop. We're going to open up the phone lines here in a minute, but I'm just going through a few more of your phone questions, and comments. Ooh, I like this comment from NC Green. Defense has not been the same since we lost Mosley. Oh, captain, my captain. Jets need to draft an alpha linebacker to lead them. I would love that. Quincy's set to be a free agent. I think the Jets will try to move on from Jamin Sherwood this offseason, unless that's also Steve Wilks' scheme related, because before Steve Wilks, Jamin Sherwood looked great last year. So that could be another scheme thing. Who knows? Maybe the next defensive coordinator tries to fix him. But still, we do need that alpha guy. Jamian naturally is not an alpha guy. He's not a big talker. When he came in, he was super, I guess, socially awkward, for lack of a better word. I don't know the man, but from what other people have said about him, it seems like he had some, he not afraid, but wasn't willing to express himself in a communication standpoint. That's not his go-to. He's not this extroverted person where he just screams, and more a show by example. And the examples this year have not been good. Thilium says, who was it that mentioned Bart Scott yesterday? I would love that. As a potential defensive coordinator, I heard Joe Beningo bring up that name. The only thing with Bart Scott, the mad backer, is I don't think he's ever coached. Now, as an assistant linebackers coach, okay. As a senior defensive analyst, okay. He knows a lot about defense, but as a straight-up defensive coordinator, that would scare the bleep out of me, to be honest. He knows a lot of defense. I see his film breakdowns for the Jets. He has a part-time role with the Jets where he's on some of their pre- and post-game coverage on top of what he does in the radio and media world, and then he's on television. As an assistant linebackers coach, okay, maybe. As a senior defensive analyst, maybe. But as a straight-up defensive coordinator, that would be risky, to say the least. But Connor Hughes talked about how the pendulum swings, right? When you go one way and it fails, you normally swing back the other way, which makes a lot of sense. So they went defensive coordinator, super experienced guy. Maybe they swing back the other way and get someone who's young and upside. Bart Scott would be on the younger upside side of not having done it before, so he is lesser experienced, obviously, than Wilks, who's been coaching forever. So maybe. Okay. Hey, same thing with quarterbacks. This offseason, we're going to bring up a lot of quarterback options for the Jets. A lot of different quarterback options. And we should not just deny anyone. We should have conversations about everybody. For defense coordinator, that might be another place where we do that as well. Well, we shouldn't just, no way. Yeah, we shouldn't just do that. Let's go to Hop on Pop here. To me, Will McDonald's success in pass rush is solely based on matchups versus select opponents. Versus the majority, he is weak sauce in pass rushing and is a clear liability in the run game. Hard pass. Oof. Harsh take there. Yeah, there you go. Oh, wow. MFC says, I've never seen that play because I was staying in the hotel for a week and the Wi-Fi went out. I purposely avoided seeing it because I'll be happy if I never see AG dance again. Oof. I didn't mind. I don't mind the AG dancing. While, yes, there was a lot of time left on the clock. That was an insane play. So I don't mind AG losing his stuff and dancing all over the place. I had no problems with that whatsoever and still have no problems with that. Number one Austin Jet fan. I'm a McDonald guy. But he's got to step up, man. Hope he gets good DC. Let's see what he gets. That could be schematic related. Troy Sturgis brings up, I believe Will is more an outside linebacker type. Could possibly play some of that on passing downs where he stands up as a rusher. That could be. He's got an elite burst coming off with that speed, which is unique. Does that make sense? MFC says it's kind of hard to do a spin move when you're on the D line and you don't have the room. Yeah, maybe that goes back to that as well. Sure. From a stand-up position, you could get there as well. He could be another John Abraham. I mean, yes. Yeah, John Abraham. After he got traded from the Jets, he continued to have great success. Yes. Good morning to Frankie here in the chat as well. Let's get a few more of your questions, comments, and then we'll open up the phone lines here on the show. Want a DC from a winning team, MFC says. Okay. All right. Ace of Spade, he had 10 sacks last year. Yeah, he had 10.5 sacks last year. Yeah, Will McDonald was very good. But again, if you look at the numbers, he had 8 of his 10.5 sacks in the first 7 weeks of the season. Across the final 10 games of the season, he only had 2.5. The real question is, what was the reason for the drop-off? Again, I'm not a film junkie to be able to break this down and say, here's why he was double-teamed on these plays, or, it was effort, it was this, it was scheme. I don't know. I'm not a film guy. Maybe we could get someone else on the show that could explain that. I don't know. But he only had 2.5 sacks across 10 games. What happened? MFC says, I meant last year's team, BG. All the chaos and losing saw. I can't judge talent of that circus. That's true. That's true. I see what you're saying. Second half of that season, right? Because he got fired in week 5, and then we had week 6 on. Although, like I said, Will McDonald still had some of that success with Ulbrich on the front end of that before it completely fell off. But I get your point. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Shout out to Frankie here in the chat as well. Yeah, Bart Scott, the mad backer. Bart Scott for president. There you go. Let's go to Deborah. She says, we let Travis at the moment, Travis Etienne, run all over us. Yes, yeah. And the worst part about that, Deborah, was that Travis a few times was bottled up, and then he spun out of it and broke out of it. The Dolphins game, Devon Achane, he had this 50-yard run, and the Jets had him bottled up, and then he broke out of the bottled up and then ran for another 15. You're like, guys, come on, man. Wrap the hell up. Unbelievable. Good morning to Hep that joins us here in the comment section. Good morning, Hep. We'll go back to that question here in just a second. JQuest57, BG respectively, stop sucking off McDonald because you predicted he blocked a field goal in a meaningless loss. That's not why my prediction of Will McDonald blocking a field goal, I didn't make any money off that or anything. And that's not the reason why, like I said, I like the guy. That's a cool play that happened. That's awesome. But we lost the game. So, again, it's going to get lost in history. No, the reason why I root for McDonald is what I said at the beginning of the show. And I try to be very transparent with you guys. That the origin story documentary got me to buy in on Will McDonald, the person, even more than I was. I was like, wow, okay, this is what he's about. I got to interact with his coaches that followed me on social media. We DM'd a little bit about Will McDonald. I said, oh, cool. Like, wow, now I'm getting to know his backstory. Like, this is awesome. That's the reason I'm rooting for Will McDonald. It's not about me hey, it's all about me. I predicted his field goal. It's not about that for all. It's not about that at all to me. No. No, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, hope for your team. That's always good to have. Shout out to Pop. Yep, who's in there? Charlemagne has spoken. All right, we got a super chat coming in here. Let's go to our boy Mahar. Every time we get a super chat, we hear from my daughter, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
Mahar Khalil, $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Do you think Rex Ryan will interview for the DC spot for the Jets? It's a good question. Rex Ryan has interviewed for 2 defensive coordinator jobs since he left being a head coach back in 2016, which again was 10 years ago. 10 years ago. If he interviews for the DC job with the Jets, his last NFL job was 10 years ago in 2016 because someone will be hired in 2026. He has interviewed for 2 DC jobs. That was with the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos. Those are 2 DC jobs he interviewed for. I think it's complicated, but not impossible. And what I mean is this. There are teams and situations where a guy was a head coach at one place, left, and came back as a DC at the same place. Vance Joseph is doing that right now with the Denver Broncos. He was the head coach of the Broncos. It went horrifically wrong. He got fired. He left, went to another place, and then Sean Payton brought him back as a DC. So it is possible. I mean, it's literally happening right now. But boy, I wonder if Rex. Here's the problem with this. In theory, we all love Rex Ryan, the defensive mastermind, and hopefully he still has the pulse. I would imagine Rex does, even though he's been out of it for 9 years, that he would still know how to call up a defense. But here's the problem if I'm AG. I hire Rex Ryan. I know you're just asking about an interview. Maybe he'll interview. But he just interviewed for the head coaching job last year. Can his ego take just interviewing for the DC job? So that's a Rex Ryan question. And then here's an AG question. If I'm AG, we have EZs of the world that are calling occasionally for Rex Ryan to be hired straight up as a head coach again. There are other Jet fans in our audience that want Rex Ryan to be the head coach again. Can you imagine? AG hires Rex Ryan. We go into the 2026 season. Let's say we start out, 2-5 or something. Fans would be screaming for AG to be fired and replace him with Rex. Those are the glory years. Rex should be the head coach. That's where we get complications and a circus that AG welcomed into his house by bringing in Rex. Let's say Rex does anything right, wrong, and different, and Rex Ryan gets fired. He's going right back to ESPN to yell things about AG from inside the building stuff of like his observations of why things were fucked up. So, boy, that could just be a circus. Maybe they interview him for DC out of respect, but I would be surprised if Rex Ryan gets hired as the defensive coordinator of the New York Jets. I would. Does he get, if he's super passionate about it, could he get hired by some other NFL team? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But I don't know, man. I don't think Rex Ryan's going to be the defensive coordinator for us. But I appreciate the super chat question. Thank you, Mahar Khalil. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just think there's too much drama that could occur there where I don't think so. All right, folks, let's do this. Let's open up the phone lines. We have 250 people in the room. 100 of those 250 people are watching on YouTube. I appreciate you here on the program. That is youtube.com/boygreen25. Make sure you guys like the video here on YouTube. That's a free way to contribute. We have 43 likes, but 100 people in the room. Come on, folks. Make sure you hit that like button. That's a free way to contribute. We do raffles every single month on my channel. We try to give back to the fans. We're 8 days from Christmas. And as long as you guys spend $3 on the channel somewhere here in the month of December, you guys get raffle tickets for our contest. And how do you submit raffle tickets? If you're watching on YouTube, you go down to the comment section. There's a little money sign, a little money emoji. Click that. And all these options pop up where you can give super stickers, super chats. You can give channel memberships to your neighbors in the chat. You feel free to do that. Every $3 you spend is a raffle ticket for our contest. Okay? So good luck to all you guys out there. All you need is one raffle ticket to win. One raffle ticket could win everything for you. It's all up to the random wheel of name picker. It's up to the gods who gets what. It is up to the gods. But, hey, The more raffle tickets you buy, the better your odds are. Here we go. So here's a couple of things that are in our raffle this month. We'll be giving this away on January 1st. Hey, how about a Jet Santa Funko Pop, huh? There you go. Brand spanking new in the package. A Jet Santa Funko Pop for the festive holiday season here in Christmas. This will be giving away on January 1st. How about this? A tribute shirt to one of the greatest Jets of all time. A true Jet. Nick Mangold 74. We have a Nick Mangold tribute shirt from the New York Jets. I purchased this shirt from the Jets, and all the money goes to the National Kidney Foundation. So thank you to the Jets for doing this. That's beautiful. So we'll honor a Nick Mangold tribute in our package this month if you want a chance to win this shirt and the Funko Pop. And we'll throw in our Boy Green Woody tailgate in a box. We hosted and will continue to host every year for one Jets home game every year. I'm going to be there. We're going to host a big party with great food. Chef Kevin Gilbert was there last year. We had Lou Bede, the Super Jets fan, there with the Beast Sprinter, which had music and DJ Gina Turner, and it was a wonderful, awesome time. In case you missed it, I still have some of the stuff left over from the tailgate. We had tailgate shirts. We had koozies. We had bottle openers. We had a whole package of stuff. I'll throw all that in as well. So all of those items will be gifted to one person on January 1st. Again, if you want to be eligible for that, make sure you throw in $3 in the tip jar, and you guys can do that here on YouTube if you're watching in, which we appreciate. Thank you. That helps keep the lights on for me, and it's a cool way for us to give back to you. All right, without further ado, oh, wow, we're getting some super chat action in here, so let's get right to that before we open up the phone lines here on the program. It's our buddy Frankie here on the show. Appreciate you, pal. Let's go.
Wow.
Thank you, Frankie. Appreciate this. Rex is too big of a personality. No way it would work. It would be a huge shit show, and give my SC points to Johnny Boy. Super chat points. Okay, will do. Thank you, Frankie. That goes to Johnny Boy. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. So I appreciate all you guys that have been gifting some raffle tickets here to Johnny Boy. He's now up to 39 raffle tickets because of you guys in the audience. That's super cool of you. And I'm wearing this hat for Johnny Boy, JWW, Jets Worldwide, wide. If you guys are unaware, Johnny Boy, unfortunately, has been in the hospital. He's up at the hospital dealing with some stuff. And I appreciate everyone that's been sharing their love. I appreciate Johnny himself for calling into the show and keeping us all attuned on everything that's going on and getting to talk some Jets and hopefully distract Johnny from all the serious stuff that's going on in the hospital to talk about our green and white football team. So thank you. We just updated the banner. Thank you, Frankie. 39 raffle tickets for our guy, Johnny. There's nothing more than I would love than to deliver these prizes to Johnny. Again, I don't control who wins the raffle. It's up to the gods. So Johnny Boy has the most raffle tickets. That doesn't guarantee he's going to win, but I would love nothing more than for Johnny to win this raffle and hopefully bring a smile to his face. So thank you. But I do agree, Frankie. Rex Ryan, such a big personality. The fact that he was a head coach here, the fact that the last time our glory years are from Rex Ryan, that would put an immense amount of pressure on AG and could be a shit show where the whole thing collapses. And for a guy to get a head coaching interview and to be legitimately considered to be the head coach, and then he gets passed over for another guy, and then he's asked, hey, do you want to work under the guy that you got passed up for? I imagine that could be a difficult thing for Rex Ryan to swallow, candidly. I could imagine that would be a difficult thing to undertake. MFC, baby, our mother effing chew, gifting another Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Let's go. Rolling here on the program, baby. That membership went to KY Jets Fan NJ. KY Jets Fan NJ, you are now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. And MFC, 8 raffle tickets. 8 raffle tickets for you, my brother from another mother. Appreciate you. Thank you, mother effing chew. You guys are killing it out here in the streets. You guys are killing it out here. All right, I've delayed long enough. We'll play a quick HEP timeout if you guys would like to call into the show. YouTube is the place to do it. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, but YouTube is going to be where the pinned comment will appear in just a moment, where you guys are allowed to call into the show. If it's your first time, wonderful. If you're a multi-time offender, that's cool too. Whatever the case may be, make sure you guys take full advantage, and we'll take phone calls for a little bit on a variety of topics, Jets and sometimes beyond Jets. It's all up to you. We'll play that quick HEP song, and we'll return after these short messages.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Boy Green, fucking daily, fucking daily, fucking daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jet football with Boy Green. Everyone,
J-E-T-S, Jets.
Boy Green, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green.
J-E-T-S, Jets.
Let's go!
You heard it there from Hep. Let's frickin' go. And really cool gesture here by MFC. That last membership he gifted is for Johnny Boy, baby. Let's go.
Wow.
You guys have been too kind to my friend Johnny, and I love it. Johnny's the best, so thank you. And we will add that to Johnny Boy, who is now at an even 40-pack. Hey, now. You guys have been doing a lot of love here for Johnny, which is super cool. Thank you guys so much. I can speak for Johnny. I know that he really appreciates that, so that's a beautiful. MFC, thank you so much for your kindness, and everyone for your kindness. Philium started that train a couple of days ago, and that was beautiful. So thank you, everybody that's decided to donate some raffle tickets to Johnny Boy. All right, let's get to the phone lines, folks. That's youtube.com/boygreen25. You want to call into the program, get your participation trophy, folks. Get involved. All right, get involved. That's the way to do so. Also, another way to get involved is by liking the video, folks. Again, over 100 people watching on YouTube as we continue our chase to 10,000 subscribers. Here's my thing. Once we get to 10,000 subscribers, then what am I going to say? Am I going to have to come up with a new catchphrase? I guess. I don't know. But let's find that out when all that happens. All right, let's dive into the deep end of the pool. Let's get the scuba gear on. And let's see. We'll start off with Hepster. What's up, Hep?
Hey, Paul. Hey, fellas. Yeah, I suggest you look at the origin story on Will McDonald because the kid is an amazing athlete. He has a strong heart. A kid was sleeping outside in like frigid temperatures just to go to the school he wants to. The kid he's the real deal. We just have to find a place for him and find out how to utilize that talent. I don't think he's really had the, and he hasn't been playing football that long either. So
That's
I mean,
also true.
Yeah. So we have to really. He's a hell of an athlete. I don't know what maybe it's like you said, the stand-up linebacker position, something along those lines. Because he has an incredible burst and he's got that great spin move. I think he's going to be a talent, and we let him go. He's going to succeed somewhere else. I don't know. Maybe we can't afford him right now because of where we are as far as a team. But I don't know. He's a hell of an athlete.
Yeah, quick shout out though for people. So again, you keep hearing us talk about it. Me and Hep have both talked about origin stories. Go to YouTube whenever you get a chance. It's like a 45-minute documentary or something, but it's 1,000% worth it. You're going to find out about Will, his story, his family, and then it naturally, climaxes and continues like high school, college. Oh, drafted by the Jets. It goes through the whole thing. If you guys have not seen it, it is very moving. The being out in the parking lot to play football to the random chance of his high school coach saying, again, it wasn't his high school coach at the time. He said, "Hey, this lanky bastard's walking around the high school." He's like, "Hey, you want to play football?" He's like, "No, I'm good, thanks." And then he had to like beg him to try it out. And then on the first, it's raining, and they show this first high school play that they beat their superstar Division I college tackle that was playing at the high school level and beat him instantly on a spin move. They went, holy shit. And then Will McDonald was like goofing around saying, "Hey, is that a McDonald's over there?" And like, they're like, what the hell is going on with this kid? So like, it is, I'm just remembering calling it back from August. It's such a great documentary. So you guys should totally watch it if you haven't already. Yeah,
it's definitely good. That's a good program. The other good one is the Garrett Wilson origin story. That's another really good one.
Yeah.
But anyway, the defensive coordinator I want Leonard.
Okay. Jim Leonard, our boy, bring him home. Okay.
What do you think that would cost? How would we pry him out of there? Is it going to take a draft pick? What's the story with that?
No, not at all. So Jim Leonard, I want to just make sure I get this right for his official position. Jim Leonard is, let me get it right from the Broncos to make sure that it's not a Wikipedia mistake. So Jim Leonard is the defensive passing game coordinator and assistant head coach. So the good news is that even with the assistant head coach title, which maybe gets him more money, which is good for him, what that does is he is considered a position coach, which means that if the Jets want to interview him for a DC, that is promotion. The Broncos cannot block a promotion. So that's good for us. So no draft pick, no nothing required. It's just whether or not Jim Leonard wants, first off, do the Jets want Jim Leonard? And does Jim Leonard want to do it? Does he have aspirations? Some coaches are fine just doing whatever their job is. They never want to be anything else. Some people are a coordinator and then they never want to be a head coach or whatever the case is. So I love the Jim Leonard call out. I loved him on the Jets. Super smart kid. He's had some college experience. He's obviously was a player, so that experience helps. He was in the National Football League. So NFL right now as a coach, college coach, player, checks off a lot of boxes. And if we're going to be rating anyone's, everyone's always chasing the hot thing. Who's the next Sean McVay? Who's the next this? If we're like, damn, our defense stinks, where are we drawing from? Denver, who has arguably the best defense in football, Texans may have something to say about that, or one of the best defenses. That's a great mind to pick from. Vance Joseph over there with Jim Leonard. So I'd love that. That's a great call.
Me too. Yeah, bring the band back together, Get all the ex-Jets in the room.
Yeah, works for me. Yeah, baby.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, appreciate it. And let's continue to sort of pick our brains. I'll also do it for a couple of these topics, I'm sure, on shows throughout the week of coordinator options that could make a lot of sense for the Jets. We'll be exploring some of those as well. I see we got some more love coming in the chat, which we appreciate. Hey, look, it's Fox Sports Talk with a $5 super chat. Hey, now.
Wow.
God bless our Johnny boy. Appreciate that, Fox Sports Talk. We'll put this down both for you and our guy Johnny boy, which we appreciate. Thank you very much. Our guy Stephen Fox here on the program. Thank you kindly, sir. Let's add that to your total. Also throw that in there for Johnny, which appreciate it. Thank you. And yes, continued prayers for our guy Johnny. Continued prayers. We're rooting and praying for you, buddy. We're rooting and praying for you. Hey, look, a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships from our guy, NC Green, baby. Let's go. Baby, here we go.
Who want to fly with them?
Yeah. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. We'll read these 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club here in just a moment. Let me make sure. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, so that was that's what I wanted to make sure. So NC Green says throw that in for Johnny Boy. So we will. Wow, the Johnny Boy love continues, baby. That's now 45 raffle tickets for our buddy Johnny Boy. Thank you very much, everybody in the audience. You guys are great. And Johnny Boy definitely appreciates this. Let's go. Here are the 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to NC Green here on the program. Let me take a gander here. Here they are. All right. The 5 new members of Boy Green Coffee Club are as follows. We got Dorian, Tan 3M. We have Big Green. I don't know if there's any relation to NC Green, but very nice. Shout out to Big Green. We haven't seen Big Green in a while. We have CT. Welcome to the Boy Green Coffee Club. And Philip Fannin. Welcome to the Boy Green Coffee Club as well. Again, 45 raffle tickets for our guy Johnny Boy. Thank you guys so much for all the love here. This is absolutely beautiful. We have one more super chat to get to, then we'll get back to the phone lines here on the program. It is our boy Trackhawks ATL with a $5 super chat. Let's get right to it. Zariah Luna.
Wow.
All right, so here's the thought. So we keep Will McDonald. We draft Ruben Bain from Miami. We draft the D lineman from Miami. Best defense in college football. Book it. Watch on Saturday. I mean, unfortunately, I saw it as Miami crushed Syracuse earlier this season. So I have seen a few Miami games, and we'll see him now in the college football playoff. So Ruben Bain love. Okay, so screw the quarterback. Screw the Fernando stuff. build the team. There's nothing wrong with building the team. So again, I think they are two viable strategies. Personally, I want Fernando. I want the quarterback. But you guys can sell me on, hey, Paul, sure, quarterback's cool, but look at all this. You get Ruben, you get this guy, you get this guy. There is something to be said for that. There's absolutely something to be said for that, of going in that direction and building the team in that way. So I don't hate it. I don't hate it. By the way, this $5 super chat added on with your previous combination truck for 3 raffle tickets this month. Track Hawks ATL. Appreciate you, pal. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. You guys can keep those super chats and memberships flowing. We'll keep it rocking here on the program. Look at this. The train continues because the bosses are away. The mice play. Philly Noodles.
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's going on, Philly? Good
Not
morning.
much. What's going on?
Hey, what's popping?
Not much. I'm not one for bragging and boasting. I'm not that type of dude. It's not my thing. But I do have something that you don't have, and that's a Emirates Cup. You know what I mean? An NBA Emirates Cup. I just want to get that off my chest.
Yeah.
Get it off now because I will now take the humiliation of not winning a ring since '73. Coming from you now.
That's been a long time.
Yeah, but that Emirates Cup, though.
Hey, but dead serious for all the Knicks fans. I know we have a lot of them in our audience. Are you guys hanging a banner for that?
No, I mean, it sounded
the Lakers
like
did.
Spike.
The Lakers won the first one, and they rolled out a banner. I'm like, you got to be shitting me.
Oh, they're going
NBA championship, NBA. Like, come on, man.
They're doing it. I think they're going to do it, but Spike Lee was like, no. They interviewed Spike Lee. He was like, no.
Oh, they did? Oh, I missed that.
He's like, no. And Spike is Spike, so Spike's probably going to be like, yo, Dolan.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't do it, bro.
LGK. There you go, Knicks fans.
Yeah. Yeah, so on the take of everything, first off, before we get into coordinator and who's going to be coordinator,
all right.
If I don't see a ex-defensive coordinator / new head coach / cornerback czar get this interim DC we have now to accomplish 1 interception in the last 3 games, we have a bigger issue now, everybody. Let's just get that straight.
Okay.
That's what we need to understand. That's the bigger problem. If he can't, if Aaron Glenn can't get this guy in the team to buy into 1 interception the rest of the season, we have a bigger problem.
That would be to think about, like, the likelihood of 18 weeks, 17 games, being the first team in history to not have 1 interception throughout the season. And think about an oblong-shaped ball and all the different directions it's bouncing, how many hands it's on the Jets. I mean, that would be an unfortunate flag to bear for the
Jets. It's all kidding aside of how sad it is. It's really alarming on his part. So it's not going to end. It's for AG. Yeah, it's not going to. No way, because you're a cornerback. You're an ex-cornerback. You're a quarterback.
He had a lot of picks in his career. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you were with the Saints, who had great corners and great safeties. You were in Detroit, and you helped bring about Brian Branch, and who was there, and then I think even Okuda. I mean, Jeff. Remember that?
Okuda. Yes.
Yeah, that didn't work out very well, but I think he even had a pick.
He did have a pick. Yes.
Yeah. So let's understand it has to happen. You're facing a rookie quarterback.
That's true.
Then you're facing one of the most intercepted quarterbacks in the NFL, being Josh Allen, no matter how great he is physically. And then you got Drake May. It's the Patriots. You got to pick him off at least once. I don't even care how you get it done. Just do it. I don't care.
Tyler Shuck has 5 picks this season, so he's been in the gifting mood this holiday season. He has almost as many picks as he has touchdown passes this year. So come on.
And you're an ex-Saint coach, so this is kind of like I'm throwing a softball here. It has to happen this week.
And
if it don't happen this week, we got problems.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Before this Panthers game, so the Saints just beat the Panthers. Before this Panthers game, Tyler Shuck had an interception in 3 straight games, and he had an interception in, let me make sure I get this right, he had an interception in 5 of 6 games, in 5 of 6 games before this Panthers game. So, like, he has been giving opportunities, and those are interceptions were caught, let alone some that may have been dropped. So, this is it. This is it.
I feel like it has to happen this week. If it doesn't, we have a really big bigger problem. Like he needs to evaluate. He needs to evaluate himself as a coach at this point.
Yeah.
Like, how could I not get any of these men to buy into it? It's grabbing a fucking football out of the air. It is unbelievable. And then the Will McDonald thing, I would say, it's kind of his ceiling. I don't think has been met. So when we talk about who we're going to afford, obviously we have so much money. This is where I was talking to you yesterday. It's like there's so much money. At some point, you need to double down somewhere. And like we said, it's not going to be Quincy. There's no way. I don't think so. So
what do you mean?
That they bring Quincy and keep Sherwood.
Oh, right. Oh, yes. Yeah. Right.
I think it would be the edges like that we have. So meaning you have to pay JJ, right? If you're going to keep him, you have to. And then you just have to sign that not the franchise tag, but his option.
Yeah, right. Except the 5th year option for Willie. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's laying the path is laid there. That's what's going to have to happen. I wonder what kind of deal you spark up with Jermaine. You know, that's kind of really the bigger question we should ask, because no matter what he thought, right, he's a vocal leader. I think he contributes more of a leader than he does anything else on the field. Like, obviously he contributes, but you know what I'm saying? To me, in that right, he was an option to get traded. He kind of implored them and begged them, please don't get rid of me. So it kind of makes you think they look at Will as a better holdout. Like, they'd rather have Will than JJ. That's how I'm looking at this. They'd rather have Will than JJ.
I'm forgetting the insider who said this. It might have been Connor Hughes, but I can't remember who it was. But at the trade deadline, they said, like, it was Connor Hughes. He just said this week. So he said that Tampa Bay called the Jets ahead of the trade deadline. They say, hey, we want Will McDonald. And the Jets were like, okay, we got Jermaine, though. And they said, nah, we want Will. And then the Jets gave some apparently ridiculous offer they knew they wouldn't say. So they said, okay, sorry, I guess we don't have a deal, and hung up the phone. So that's what they said. So apparently that's true, that they valued Will more, if that conversation is to be taken as true. So, and
we got to take it as AG's not going nowhere, Muji's not going nowhere. So it's still the same value. It's still the same thought process, right? JJ is expendable. So he needs to understand that. He would have to take a cheaper deal. Just him and AVT, if they wanted to stay with the team, they have to take a pay cut. Like, it's not even JJ can't stay on the field. AVT, please get rid of him. He can't stay on the field, and if they keep him, he's got the biggest discount in the world. You know.
But it is to your point what you just said on Jermaine. What do you do? So okay, Jermaine. This year's about to end. Jermaine has whatever. He has 3 sacks right now. Maybe he has some left. I don't know. But let's just fast forward to the option. He has 1 year left in his deal. It's a 5th year option. They've already accepted. Does Jermaine just say, hey, let me ride out this year and then I'm a free agent? Does he go to the Jets and say, hey, give me an extension? And if it's an extension, it can't be crazy, because, like, he's coming off a year where he only had 3 sacks and he's coming off the Achilles. So do the Jets get a sweetheart deal on Jermaine because of where he's at? And then we get a team deal this offseason? Does Jermaine ride out the 5th year and there's no discussion? I'm fascinated to see what all that entails.
Well, I mean, they can't be both on their 5th year option. Isn't JJ's option exercised this season?
So let me explain. So Jermaine, after this season is over in 3 games, he has 1 year left in his deal. That's 2026. Okay. That is the 5th year option. Will's 5th year option decision is coming this offseason, but he is this is his 3rd year. So if it gets declined, he will still have another full year through 2026 before he reaches free agency.
Yeah, I mean, again, it'd have to be a hometown discount. The same thing with AVT. They have to, if they are not willing to acquiesce that thought process in their minds, then they obviously may not be part of the process going forward. And it's kind of sad, but first off, we have to walk away in the notion that obviously we need defense everywhere. Mm-hmm. Now the thought of safety is probably bigger of a concern. Corner, I feel. Yeah,
or just in general.
Just general, the draft and everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a few corners and safeties coming out in free agency that will be available that are on the higher end of like where you'll have to maybe spend. I think that's probably where you can allocate money. Some of the guys, like I was saying, are coming from the Saints. They're going to be free agents. Mm-hmm. Glenn was there. I think he can wrangle a couple of them. I think one D tackle is going to shake out of Detroit. But the draft is loaded with some linebackers and some D tackles. Mm-hmm. So if you're not going to spend the money in free agency that way, you can then afford whatever you might have to do with the two of them, and maybe just chalk it up as that's what you're doing. And I think John Simpson opening his mouth basically is trying to beat AVT to the purse of the Jets.
That's a good point.
That's what I think is happening. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's like, you just paid Myers, who's fumbling snaps. I want to be here, bro.
Because you think about it, right? So, okay, let's say the decision's between Simpson and AVT. They're going to keep one of them. AVT played left guard when he first came into the league. John Simpson has been playing left guard. When John Simpson got signed, AVT got kicked from left guard, and that's where all the right guard stuff came from. So you're right. Maybe there's an offer on both of their tables, and whoever takes it first is the guy and the other guy. Sorry, that was that we had room for one. And now you're both because I don't know if ABT and John would both come back to say, hey, you guys are competing against each other for one gig. They're like, fuck you. I can go to free agency and I get a guaranteed job from somebody else. So, yeah, it may just be one or the other. That's interesting. I hadn't thought
because
about it
to me, John Simpson in his mind knows I know what my worth is.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be more than what I'm going to get with the Jets. AVT doesn't know. That's the outlier. We don't know what he's worth because of his injuries. So I'm sorry, I would take what I know versus what I don't. We need this. The only time you should be taking a gamble of what you don't know and know is a QB. That's it.
Right.
In the draft. So I know the writing's on the wall. This guy's going to get injured 4 games in, and there goes the rest of the season. I don't care if it happens now or 2 years. If I sign him for 2 to 3, it's probably going to happen. It's not going to happen with Simpson. Knock on wood. And let's see what happens. And everybody, let's strap in our seatbelts and let's go for the ride because we're built for this shit that's occurring.
That's it. Philly Noodles joining us, continuing the trade. Normally only joins us every Friday on the show, but the bosses are away, baby.
That's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
He did say that at one point. He did. Can confirm. By the way, the other thing I wish I could confirm is more likes in the gosh darn video. Let's go, people. Stop holding out for likes. It's a Christmas season. You should be in the giving mood. What the hell's going on out there? That's neither here nor there. Let's get back to the phone lines. We got a lot of people waiting. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 callers. All right, we'll get to all you crazy bastards here on the program. Let's keep this train rolling. Up next. I should have known. It's a Wednesday. Chef Kevin Gilbert graces us with his presence.
BG, good morning, man. How you doing?
Hey, good morning. And I like the nice job you did. Nice snowmen back there. Very festive. Okay. At the Cloverleaf Let me take a good look at that. Look, wow. Ugly sweater action. Okay. The countdown to Christmas. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Yeah. Show us some more of that. Yeah. What's going on there? That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Beautiful.
This is it. It changes. Seasonal stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very nice. All right. Nice job. Shout out to the Cloverleaf Tavern, baby.
That's it. Yeah. Wednesdays now, I have the staff coming in a little later. So this is my, I like being in this area right by the hostess just to kind of look at the flow of everything. And then once everybody gets here, check in. And then, I'll move upstairs and get some more admin stuff done and then come back down and, start cooking, getting things together.
Let's go.
First off, man, shout out to the coffee club members, man. Chat, always good stuff. Love the comments when you read them. It's tough for me to kind of follow along, reading the stuff. But, when you pull it up or whatever, and then talk about it, it's really refreshing. Shout out to them. Shout out to number 1 Austrian Jet fan, man. Keep doing your thing. And that boy, Johnny boy, man, get better, man.
Yeah, man.
You a champ for real. Hold it down. We thinking about you. You'll definitely get through this, man.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
I have just a couple things to say. I'll make it quick because I know you got a couple more people on the line.
Yeah.
For Will McDonald, man, topic of discussion. He's somebody, man, that I really didn't. I was like kind of mad at that pick, man. When we initially did it, the Broderick Jones. I think most of us thought we were going to get that, and he hasn't really panned out. The hindsight or whatever. He's on IR now too, so he's a little banged up. So, all right, no doubt. But I thought that I felt like wide receiver was still like a position of need, and Jackson to Seattle, that was tough. I also like Zay Flowers. I thought he would have been good in the slot for us. You know, he's a little undersized. He's like, you know, he's under 6 foot, but I thought he would have been good. And he's pretty shifty over there in Baltimore. He's doing his thing. Um, Man, there was another one, Addison from
Oh yeah, Jordan
Minnesota.
Addison. Yes, of course.
He's a burner. He's a speedster. Really good hands. But and then that other dude, you know, it's kind of like, hey, you know, we had Reed as well. We had Michael Carter. So like to think about Christian Gonzo,
Oh
like,
yeah, Gonzalez.
you know,
Yes, he went to
he
the
was right after
Patriots.
us.
Yeah,
Those is like the four where I'm like,
yeah,
you know what? Do we really need an edge at pick 15? Like I thought the tackle would have been cool, but
yeah.
you know what it is. But I think the production, man, I think the coaching, I think the position, I think all that stuff is like kind of leading to this kind of production that he's having. He's not a three down lineman. You could see that the league basically caught up to his spin move. He doesn't really have much of like a bull rush. No real spin move or nothing else. He doesn't really overpower the offensive lineman. So it's like, you know, he's fast, don't get me wrong, and when things break down, yeah, he's there, but you know, that's not really consistent, something you could really scheme up, just because of how he plays. And then to think like, oh, you can just convert him to like maybe like an outside backer, that ain't gonna work either, man, because it's different when you have to when you're put in coverage situations. He doesn't have that skill set. So, you know, it's kind of tough, man, and that amount of money is a lot too to you know, invest. I'm still in the camp of keeping him, but I think it's pricey, man. Like after the end of the day, man, if we don't really have anything other options, then you know you got to keep him and then kind of move on, knowing like, all right, this year was an evaluation year that totally went south, man. It's like we basically evaluated the coaching staff too. You know, like
Yeah.
that was something that, you know, caught me a little off guard, but you know, I'm not complaining just because of the production, man, that we saw on the field, especially with that Miami game. Literally the week before, we gave up 21 points in the first quarter, more time left, and then, you know, we gave up 31 points in that first half against the Jags. Like, it's not getting any better. And I told you months ago, BG, I don't know if he was really listening, and you know, I caught a couple slack from the Golf Club members, but I told y'all, man, months ago about losing the locker room, you
He
know,
did.
and all the signs were there, man. I mean, you know, some people don't want to see it or whatever, but it's just so much stuff. Then the trade deadline, all kind of things coming out, man. I'm just like, you know, I'll keep it inside, you know, just like what Philly said, he ain't really trying to boast or whatever. I'm not doing that, but just, you know, just kind of bring it up, like, guys, like this is bad, man. Like, you know, Salah kind of lost the locker room, but then gained it with that whole Mike White stuff.
Oh yes,
Uh,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a slap in the face to Zach and all that, you know, which I ain't gonna defend or whatever. I'm gonna let that be. But, you know, it was just kind of like, you know, they gave up, man. The lack of effort, man. There's no effort out there on that field. Trevor Lawrence beating, literally burning the whole line, man. Like screw Clemens, but then you see Jermaine half-assing it, right? Like McDonald, like all of them was getting toasted, man. Like it's not cool to, you know, for paying. Hey, how you doing? It's not cool for paying fans to, you know, come watch you play, and you're not even giving no effort, and then to have, you know, a little hissy fit afterwards, and not talk to reporters. How's it going, boss? Like, yo, that's your job, man. Just
Oh,
talk
that
talk to
that
talk to
pisses
the
me off.
fans,
Where's the
man.
accountability? They love talking after wins and like, oh, look at us. But then you're gonna be like, nah, I got nothing good to say. Like, be accountable, man. Speak up. Didn't love
But
that.
their coach co-signed that, man. AG co-signed it. He ain't reprimanding nobody. Nobody's getting disciplined,
Yeah.
nothing like that. The only person, you know, that caught the slack was Wilkes, which, you know, we all kind of figured was gonna happen. It's crazy, man, and you know, it's one of those things where you hear AG all season talking like and referencing the Lions, like, hey, Campbell gave me an opportunity. He let me rock, you know, the first year things weren't all that good, and kept saying that in reference to you know, the Wilkes situation, literally saying like kind of defending him and then kind of dissing himself a little bit or whatever, where it was like, hey, ultimately he got canned, and then is it classic Woody meddling or whatever? Who cares, man? Just, you know, a change needed to be done,
It did.
almost like with that quarterback situation where it's like, hey, let's get somebody in there that's actually going to throw the ball. You know, the interceptions are interceptions. That doesn't look good at all, and he obviously needs to get it cleaned up. But the dude went undrafted for a reason. So to see him, throwing the ball around, it's like, all right, let's see how the offense works because we don't really have any options. Now for the defense, it's like, all right, AG, now, you pull the trigger. Let's see how you implement your defense and see how, we could kind of evaluate the staff that we have because in this draft, man, that's coming up, it has to be offense. All right, quarterback, wide receiver. That's 1-2 right off the bat. Like we can't go back to this defensive draft and stacking everything up. Are there holes on defense? Yeah, there's holes everywhere. Everyone needs to go. As far as I'm concerned, everyone just gone full rehaul, whatever. I don't care, man. But the only way we're gonna win games is by offense. All right, you see what the defense is. We ain't turning the ball over. I mean, that's that's a whole nother conversation, man. But when it comes to the draft and needs, building this stuff right, man, you gotta do it through the draft, man. But let me go, BG. I know you got the other callers. Appreciate you, coffee club members. Yo, Johnny boy, we here for you, man. Get right. Go
There you
Jets.
go. There he is. Happy holidays, Chef Kevin Gilbert, joining us here on the program. In the middle of a beautiful soliloquy from Chef Kevin Gilbert, it reminded me that we forgot to do something at the beginning of the show, and I just want to apologize because there is a new person that must be thrown into the grinder. Alan Lazard, get the fuck out of here.
You mess with Kurt and you go into the grinder.
Okay, now this grinder of yours, is it a real grinder or is it some kind of a metaphor?
That's it. You're gone. Adios. TKO'd. Historical.
Wait. I won't be funny no more. See?
Security.
You ain't got to bring the man down here. Wait a second. Kurt, come on, please. I need this job.
Take out the trash.
Trash? Oh, now look at here.
Get this news out of my face.
Get the hell out of here, Alan Lazard. Sayonara. Good riddance. Goodbye. Absolutely see ya. Can't believe he requested a release. Oh, thank God. Get out. Oh, he was here way too long. Alan Lazard. What a piece of garbage. Now, finally, we can give some of those reps to the young players of the team. Last week in the Jets-Jaguars game, we designed a red zone toss to Alan Lazard. Gross. All right, back to the phone lines. A lot of people here on the program. DNY for life. My pop's favorite ship.
Oh, hey, bro. What's going on, BG?
Man,
you hear me all right?
Week. Yes, sir. It's good to see you, pal.
Hey, good to see you too, brother. Hey, man, I'm out here. I got a situation. My daughter's having her little Christmas thing, so nice. I come out here for that. So figure I just got a couple minutes before I had to jump in there, but I'm glad you put me on, so I appreciate that. Hey, man, I just wanted to share like a different perspective, though. Like I'm hearing all of this stuff on Will McDonald, but I think like context matters, right? Like we always talk about like what's going on and the situation. I think, and I'm one of the things that I'm like really appreciative of our fandom is that we don't necessarily like some of us do. We just go black and white, right? But a lot of people try to put things in context, and I think like when you were showing that block video again, and I was thinking about it, and the reactions was amazing, which was dope, and I was there with you with that, so that was awesome. But like. The other part that you showed with him jumping over a car, right? Like, just how effortlessly he does that. Like, I think the perspective that I want to share is like, we've had a shit for DC. Like, can we get somebody with some imagination? And like, I think about it like this. Like, if Andy Reid had on the offensive side of the ball, if Andy Reid did get his hands on Brees, right? Like, the shit that Brees would have been doing would have been looking like Brian Westbrook written back in the Eagles days. You know what I'm saying? Because he would have been using him in that facet. And like just because we don't have the infrastructure to utilize the players in which we do have that have amazing talent. Because I think to myself, if this dude could jump over a car, if he could jump over people, like hurdle them like with no problem, does have this spin move, when and where to use it. That's the thing. Yeah, he's got to develop a little power because he's lighting the ass. But I mean, we'll line him up in different places. You know what I mean? Like if his speed is going to be such an asset that we can utilize, then line him up over a nose tackle. Let somebody else, you know what I mean? So they have that problem to worry about. Give them headaches. Like this is just the thing that I get frustrated with our staff because they don't think about how to use players. And like somebody was talking about this yesterday. I forgot who it was. I heard somebody say it. Like we often try to get our coaches to get players to blend into their system instead of having, coaches
you adapt to the players.
Right. Exactly. You know what I mean? And so that's a huge frustration for me. And I think like that's the thing like I want to think about. Like, all right, so Will McDonald has these negatives where he's not the strongest and he's not the best against the run, but he has these attributes that like no one else in the NFL that I see can do. You know what I mean? So why not put that to use? Let's figure out how to use our dude in like the right way. And I don't know. That was my thoughts on that. I just had to call in because I don't get to talk. I was trying to call in over the weekend, but then I think it was on hold and some shit was happening. And
yeah,
I just be tired of losing too, man. Like I don't take losing well. I don't understand how people like. I get the mentality of people wanting to tank. I totally respect it, and I want to tank. You know what I mean? But when I'm watching the game, I can't tank.
No.
I can't. I can't do it. I can't say yo. Like in my mind, I was thinking like last weekend. I was like, all right, so let's have Brady throw for like 350 yards and 4 touchdowns, but we lose, right? And that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But as the game's going on, I'm like, F these bastards. I want to win, bro. Like, I just want to win. Like, winning is awesome. Losing sucks. And it never feels good. Like, I've never, even when we got the moral winning, you know, the moral losing, I didn't feel good about that. Like, it's cool. All right, I'll take that perspective. I listen, I hear it, but I'm not okay with that. But anyhow, listen, man, I got to run because this program is about to start.
Oh, yeah,
and, I don't want to be the last one walking in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right,
the second
brother.
second last one walking in. There you go, Devin.
Yeah.
All right, enjoy it. Yeah, have fun in there. All right,
Right.
there you go. There he is, Devin, aka DNY for Life, joining. I get two sentiments. Me and Devin are very simpatico. When I'm watching the games, I got to root for the win. Number one. Number two, it would hurt me to trade Will McDonald for whatever we trade him for, and then he blows up for another team, and it was us. It was us on the coordinator, whoever was coordinator. We unlock whatever that final. That would be frustrating. That would be frustrating if that happened. So, again, mi casa es su casa. I totally understand where DNY for Life is coming from there. All right, let's go next up on the train. Mr. Famous Fulton.
Oh,
sorry, you cut out there. What'd you say, Mr. Famous Fulton?
How are you this morning, Paul?
How am I? Oh, yes, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. We're buried in snow over here, but hey, it's that time of year.
Yep. How's Johnny Boy doing?
Johnny has not called in yet, but I've seen him in the comments section. He seems to be, getting better.
That's good.
Yeah.
Sure. Paul, have you met my mom yet? This is my mom, Emily.
Hi, Fulton.
Oh, hello.
He wants to say hi, Mom.
Hi.
Oh, hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. All right, Fulton.
How much snow you have, Paul?
All right, Fulton.
Probably a foot or so.
A foot, like 1 inch or something?
No, like 12 inches. Yeah. A foot of snow. Yeah.
Oh wow, it's a lot of snow.
Yeah, oh yeah. We get a lot of snow up here in Oswego, New York. A lot of lake effect snow. Yeah.
We're not supposed to have snow.
Your dog's
we're supposed to have snow coming up pretty soon. But I think it's gonna rain for us this coming up week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe that'll wash some of the snow away.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, just been busy lately. Got to go to my appointment today.
Okay.
Got my therapy today. So yeah.
Well, it was great.
Spend time with meeting on Sunday.
Okay, great. Well, good luck. It was great meeting Mama Famous, even audio only. That was great to hear her voice. She seems like a lovely lady.
Yes, she does. Yep, she babysits she babysits the kids on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So she's been kind of busy.
Oh no, of course, Of course, that makes sense.
Yep. So.
That makes sense. Hey, I did get a chance to ask Chef Kevin Gilbert your question, but let me just ask you a quick follow-up on it, because you were when people were in the green room, they can write in a private chat that I can try to peek in sometimes when everyone's talking. And you said you wanted me to ask, so I'm sure Chef Kevin Gilbert is still listening. So what's the meal you wanted me to ask him about, if he's capable of cooking what?
Well, the grilled cheeseburger with tomato soup. We went to my brother took me to Applebee's yesterday.
Okay.
And they had something new on the menu, and it was grilled grilled cheeseburger with tomato soup.
Interesting.
And
I've heard of grilled cheese with tomato soup. I've never heard of a grilled cheeseburger with tomato soup. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yep, it was pretty good.
Oh, so your question was, can Chef Kevin Gilbert make a grilled cheeseburger and tomato soup?
Yep.
Okay, well, we'll ask that out to the universe. I'm sure Chef is listening in. I'm sure he's more than capable. He's a very talented chef, so I'm sure he is capable of making that. But Chef can tell us if he's ever made it before. But I'll try to get that answer to you.
That's fine.
Beautiful. Well, Mr. Famous Fulton, you and your mom have a wonderful day, my friend. Okay.
Yep, you too. Merry Christmas if we don't talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy holidays. I'm sure we will. We're 8 days from Christmas, as Chef Kevin Gilbert's chalkboard said. The blackboard up there said. We're 8 days from Christmas. There you go. Grilled cheeseburger tomato soup. Have not checked that one off the bucket list. I used to have grilled cheeses when I was a kid. Wasn't a big soup guy ever, but different strokes, different folks. We got 300 people in the room. Appreciate that. Make sure you guys like the video. Hit subscribe here on the YouTube. But let's keep the phone lines going. It's EZOC, baby.
Hey, Paulie. Good morning.
What's going on, pal? Good morning.
I was just thinking when he was talking about that cheeseburger and soup, I keep thinking of that movie that was out about 6 months ago with Anya Taylor, where she goes into the chef and she goes, I just want a cheeseburger. Not one of your fancy cheeseburgers, just a real cheeseburger. Plain old, good old American cheeseburger.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember seeing that?
I have not seen that movie. I unfortunately, kids, I haven't been able to go to the movies a lot lately. But it sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's about a restaurant, and there's a chef, and then there's some murder mystery goes on there, some kind of crazy stuff.
Okay, Captain. Yeah. All right, interesting, nice.
But there's the one scene where she just tells him, I don't want any of your damn fancy food on your menu. Just make me a fucking cheeseburger. Just a regular, plain, ordinary American cheeseburger. Can you do that?
Yeah, right. Chef balances that line too. He can make all kinds of crazy, fancy stuff, but he can also do simple stuff. So it's a good balance. Yeah, good balance.
Yeah. So anyway, this whole thing, I sent in a message earlier.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I can't do super chats right now because my credit card that's hooked up to YouTube and Google got hacked.
Oh, geez, I'm so sorry.
So I can't do any super chats right now.
No, that's okay.
As soon as everything gets straightened out, I'll fix it. Okay. But I was saying, if we're going to pick a defensive coordinator, I want a defensive coordinator. If we're going to recycle a guy, I want to recycle a guy that has had proven success. Sure. Like I said, like Schwartz is for an example.
Yeah,
sure. He's an amazing DC. Everywhere he's gone, his defenses have been great. Rex Ryan, everywhere he went, his defenses have been great. I'm not saying get Rex or Jim. I mean, but I want someone who knows what the fuck they're doing, who's been there and done that successfully. I mean, I don't understand how they could have gotten Steve Wilkes. I mean, the red flags were all over the place. 6 times in a row, one and done.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So, I mean, why would you hire a guy that gets fired everywhere he goes? Would you fire a producer for your show that has been fired his last 6 jobs after a year?
Probably not. I'd probably ask about that during the interview process. That's for sure.
It's like, well, why have you been through 6 jobs? Yeah. And why have you gotten cut short on 2 out of the 6?
Yeah.
What is it that you're not doing right? Why are you even interviewing? Maybe you need to change professions. Maybe you should go back to teaching or be a librarian, whatever.
Yeah. Could be
I have nothing against Steve Wilkes as a human being.
Sure.
Nothing. I have a lot against Steve Wilkes for confusing our defense and turning what was once a really decent defense into a pile of hot shit.
Yeah, he did some terrible work there. He murdered that defense, unfortunately.
I mean, why do you think that the defensive backs don't know where to go? because they literally don't know where to go. There are guys open. There's like 2 or 3 players on the opposing team wide open every play.
Mm-hmm.
Every single play. And there's a reason for that. And you know my big thing.
Yeah.
What I've been preaching for years. Be unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have I called in and said we have to be unpredictable?
Mucho.
And this defense is so predictable.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. I mean, when was the last time you saw them do a stunt? When was the last time you seen them rush more than 4? Or if they're going to rush 5, or rush 5, 6, or rush one guy and then back another guy into the middle just to confuse the quarterback? He doesn't do anything.
No.
And the other thing is the revert. We're talking about McDonald. If he goes somewhere and does good. Well, we had a guy who was doing good, and he decided to go somewhere else, and he tanked.
Yeah.
When he went to what was his name, Huff or Huff? When Huff went to the Eagles.
Yes, Bryce Huff. Yep.
Right? How did Bryce Huff go under Saleh's defense from being a maniac to being like a complete? He was a healthy scratch on like their last 2-3 games for the
including
Eagles.
the Super Bowl too, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, he didn't play.
No,
I mean,
but he got a ring all the same. Yeah, good for him.
Hey, he got his ring. Yeah, it's a lot more fun getting the ring if you earn it, or if you play your way to it.
I'd take a ring any way I could get it. I don't discriminate. I'd take a ring.
I don't think the problem with McDonald is McDonald. I think the problem with McDonald was Steve Wilkes.
Possible. Very possible.
He should have been there on plays of 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, and longer.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he excels.
Mm-hmm.
He is a pass rush specialist.
That's a tongue twister.
Yeah. All right. Well, and I'm glad you brought up what I was talking about. What you brought up earlier, what I had been talking about with Denzel Mims. Yeah. Okay. Denzel Mims was a one-trick pony. He could run a fly. He could run a post. He could run a stop and go bomb. All right. So why didn't they ever try him at that? They completely just said, you're going to learn the whole route tree, or you ain't going to play. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what. Hey, look, Kansas City took Xavier, the really super fast guy,
Xavier Worthy. Yeah.
Right. And he's not on the field every play. He started out just doing posts and flies and stretching the field and maybe the occasional jet sweep. Well, the Jets didn't do anything with Denzel to incorporate him into the game, to get him acclimated, to get his head in the game, to make him want to do more. They just stuffed him in fucking study hall and put him in the doghouse. How in the hell is that going to motivate anyone at any level? Remember, he went through, Pee-wee, high school, college, and he was a star at every level. And they treated him like dog shit. What do you think that does to a young kid? They totally demoralized Denzel Mims to the point now where he can't even function in the league anymore. They destroyed him. Now, maybe he sucked. That too. But they never even gave the kid a chance. Every time they put him on the field on a fly pattern, he was open. And what they need to do with Will McDonald is just kind of pull back the thing and specialize a little more. And anyone who's bitching about JJ, probably the people that are bitching about JJ aren't even athletes. And I'll tell you, point to your face. How the hell healthy would you be after coming off an Achilles tear after 1 year and then having to go out in the field and perform at an NFL pro level and still have in the back of your mind, I hope this thing don't break. I mean, it's one thing for a quarterback who drops back. It wasn't even his pressure foot with Aaron Rodgers. That wasn't even his plant foot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot different, I mean, yeah, you have to put some pressure on it to scramble a little bit. But I mean, when you're a defensive end and you're rushing hard all the time, that is a lot of spring action to put on a newly repaired Achilles tendon.
True.
And my final thought is with this draft.
Yeah.
If we're the second or third pick in the draft,
very possible,
and it doesn't cost a lot to get Mendoza, I'm on board with that.
All right.
But we need to get another O lineman because I love AVT, but I don't trust AVT.
I feel the same way.
I mean, I love the kid, but he's only played 1 out of 4.
Yeah, not good.
And you got to remind him of that because maybe another team will risk it, but I really don't think even if another team risks signing him in the offseason that they're going to throw a shit ton of money at him. They might, say, look, we're going to give you this, but if you get, I mean, can he take like a contract that, look, you played a whole year, you're going to get this, but we're going to pay you by game check kind of thing. But I don't know
also,
I don't know if his agent will allow that.
Probably not.
No.
By the way, it's 2 of 5. It's 2 of 5 because ABT's finishing up his 5th year, so he's only had close to full seasons in 2 of 5 seasons. The other 3 all ended with season-ending injuries.
Yeah, I mean, and it's unfortunate for him because he's a great kid and he's a great player when he's on the field. I mean, he's a really great player when he's on the field.
Yeah.
So, but I would probably sign Simpson over him because even though Simpson could get hurt, because anyone can get hurt at any time, Simpson has had a history of not getting hurt. And we all know availability is the best ability.
100% it is. Yep.
Now, let's quick question for argument's sake.
Okay.
If Mendoza's not available, if let's say the Giants, let's say the Giants or someone else gets the first pick, a team that doesn't quite need a quarterback, and they decide to trade back to get a haul, and another team moves up and grabs Mendoza. What's your play? Mendoza's gone. Forget it. He's gone now. What's your play? And I'll leave it at that. And you can talk about that without me being on the line. See you, man.
All right. There he is, CZ. Love it. Yeah, I wouldn't say we're fucked, but there's less directions to go if Fernando gets we'll have to, like I said, the good news is for the Jets is that they're prepared for any scenario. They've got draft picks, they've got cap space, they've got, they could trade, they could sign, they could draft, they could do all these different things. Let's see where they go. Veteran quarterback explorations, free agency. Maybe there's another guy in this draft. Dante Moore, is he coming into the draft? So if the Jets lose to the Saints, they're probably going to have a top 3 pick. If Dante Moore enters the conversation, which there's some rumors that he will, he's the Oregon quarterback. You have Dante Moore, you have Fernando Mendoza. So you have 2 very talented quarterbacks at least, and who else? We'll see what Ty Simpson does and things of that nature. But you have 2 or 3 quarterbacks potentially in the mix. All of a sudden, things spice up a little bit more. If it's a one-horse race, it's Mendoza and everybody else. That's where things get complicated, prices increase. But if there's multiple, now there's a little bit of give and take, at least from a draft perspective. So we'll see. Let's go back to the phone lines. Frankie is back here on the program in a new locale. Very nice. What's up, Frankie?
No, I'm in my office, kind of multitasking here.
Okay, all right, nice.
I'm actually working.
Okay, there you go.
How many games did we win this year?
I believe it's 3. Yeah.
How many games did we win last year?
5?
Year before that?
Oof, that might have been less. So that might have been 4. No, it was 5. Back to back.
Want me to keep going? Do you want me to keep going or get to my point?
What's your point here, Frankie?
We suck. Our players aren't good. I've said this from day one. Okay. You can blame the coaches all you want, but I like what Bart Scott said. He got a lot of dumbass players on his team. Okay. He literally, I don't think he used dumbass, but he said dumb.
Right, because he's on TV, so probably not, I guess. But
in the post-game show on Sunday. Yeah. And I really I've said it from day one, we need an overhaul. And it's going to take time. I said no to the Will McDonald thing only because I think you put it at $14 million. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's his 5th-year option. So this is a projected total from over the cap. It's $14.94 million. That's fully guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean his athleticism is incredible, but the problem is that he'll like have like 3-4 sacks in a game, and then you don't hear from him for like 3 games. And so I don't know. I'm not willing to give him that kind of money. I
That's fair.
mean, if it's I just think we need an overhaul. That's all. And I would bring in. I like the Jim. I like Hep's idea, Jim Leonard. If we can get him,
Yeah, that'd be
I
great.
love that
We
idea.
all loved Jim when he was here for sure.
Is there any chance though that I guess the guy that's taking over, Harris, is that his name?
Chris Harris. Yep.
Yeah, he's. I mean, is there a chance he would get the job? Do you think, or not?
Zach Rosenblatt believes he will have a legitimate chance, so that's nice. But I'm like, damn, what could he possibly show in 3 games? I don't know how he would interview, right?
Yeah,
Because all this
exactly.
is going to come down to the interviews. But what could he possibly show in 3 games where I made Jim like, holy shit, presto, here he is. I don't know, but let's see what he does, I guess, and then we could judge, right? He schemes something up. We have 3 or 4 picks immediately against the Saints, which would be the most hilarious thing of all time after everything with Wilkes. I guess let's evaluate the 3 games, and I'll have a better answer for you how legitimate he is. Because I think for like the Giants, right? So they fired Dable and they gave the keys to Kafka, and I'm hearing for Giants people, oh, he's got a legitimate shot to do it, and then we've seen him in the games like absolutely he has no shot. So I guess you have to see what he does with the opportunity first, I guess.
Yeah, and the reason I say all this is because again, this team hasn't won in a long time, and I think it's not just one thing. I think it's coaching and players. It's an overhaul, and I like the fact that Glenn made the decision to get rid of Wilkes. Hopefully, he'll evaluate all the players and evaluate himself and evaluate all the coaches, like he says, make additional changes. But I believe this. Well, I got a feeling we're in for a long 26 season. And like I believe with what they're doing, they're going to just overhaul everybody. That's my personal. That's what it feels like they're going to be doing, and I agree with it. By the way, and
Yeah, right. I was just about to say it's hard to disagree. I mean, after
yeah,
the shit show we
it's
just saw.
right. I like the idea of waiting for a quarterback. Um, if Mendoza, Dante Moore, or if he comes out, drops to us, I'll take him, not moving up. I think, like again, too many holes. I really could care less who the quarterback is next year. It's irrelevant whether we get Mendoza or not. If we do get Mendoza, he's as far as I'm concerned, he's not seeing the field. If I was a coach, or Dante Moore, or anybody. And I just keep Cook. And did they get rid of Martinez? By the way, they just
They
cut him?
did. So yeah. So
That
here's
was
the
weird.
news. So here's the warning shot that's coming today, folks. And oh boy, we'll see if we get it out. So Adrian Martinez gets cut yesterday, and moves are always moves of moves. What does that mean? Martinez getting cut seemingly indicates that Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor is healthy enough to be available. Now, if that's true, that connecting of the dots Detective Eston just did over here. If that's true, is AG about to play Tyrod or Justin over Brady Cook? Because that would
He
be
better
fucking
not.
nuts. So, like, that's the thing. I'm hoping we don't find out in 3 hours when he speaks. He's like, yeah, Justin's healthy. He's the guy. Like, I would be like,
No,
what
that
the
would
fuck?
be.
So, yeah.
I would lose a lot of confidence in AG if you did that. I'm going to be honest with you.
So let's see.
I can
We'll see if he
understand
does
maybe
that.
if you want Tyrod there, because last
Yeah.
week, correct me if I'm wrong, Paul. Last week, Martinez was the backup, right?
Correct. Yeah, this past game,
So he
Martinez
was
was
on the
backup.
sidelines with him for the most part,
He
or
was.
like.
Yep.
I think if I can understand having Tyrod available, having him, he's a veteran, working with Cook and so forth. I get that, okay, but I don't want to see Tyrod in the game unless Cook gets hurt. To be honest with you,
Right.
God
That's what I
forbid.
hope happens. He keeps riding Brady as a starter, and if
Right.
and sure, Tyrod's the backup mentor. Okay, fine. Tyrod's seen a lot of football. That's great. When he's on the iPad and Tyrod can be right next to him saying, "Hey, man, this,
exactly.
okay, awesome." Yeah, I'm sure he could give more intel than Adrian Martinez, but
That's
boy, if he
exactly
starts
right.
Tyrod or
So
Justin over Brady, oh,
exactly. If it was done for that reason as a mentor type thing, I have no problem. And actually, that's a smart thing to do if he does that.
probably,
If that's
yeah,
what he
yeah.
did. But if he did it to start Justin or Tyrod, I'm gonna be like, "What are you doing?"
Disgusting.
Yeah, I'd be a little upset. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Got to get back to work. Sorry. Hey,
Amen.
Johnny Boy, Johnny, shout out to Johnny Boy. I hope he's feeling better.
100%. Thank you, Frankie. Thank you. And yes, I just wanted to thank you again for the super chat you sent in and giving those raffle tickets to Johnny Boy. Several people have done that throughout the show. So, guys, thank you so much for doing that. That means the world. And I'm sure Johnny really appreciates it, which I'm sure he does. But don't take my word for it. Let's take his word for it. Johnny Boy joins us here on the program.
Hey,
Johnny.
good morning. Yeah, hey, Frankie, I appreciate you, brother, man. I always appreciate your cause. I see that hat, man, looking
Yeah,
fresh
there we
as
go.
heck.
Wide,
Looking like
wide,
$1 million
wide.
bucks.
Here we
Shout
go.
out to NC Green.
Mhm.
Shout out to my guy Foxy.
Yeah.
Austrian as well.
Yeah.
That's did that for me, man. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Also to my guy Phil, man. Phil knows what time it is.
William, yeah, he started the trend. So a lot of people have. So again, Fox Sports Talk, MFC, Austrian, Frankie, Mahar Khalil, all these guys that did it. Thank you so much. Yeah, Philium started the train. So a big salute to Philium for starting all these raffle tickets for Johnny, which is awesome. So thank you to Philium and everyone that's donated so far.
100%. Thank you guys. You guys don't even know how much that really means. Kind of got some good news. I'll break it on your show.
Oh, great.
Looks like the meds that they've been giving me is starting to kind of work. So if that's the case and I'm able to pass like solid liquids and all that, I might be able to be home by Friday or Saturday.
So you'd be home for Christmas?
Yes, so I'd be home for Christmas. So, which is great. I mean, that just starts the recovery process, right? So that's all the PT and everything that I gotta start doing and everything, which I'm ready, baby. So I'm on board. But
Let's go! It's J-E-T-S, Jets. I love Fireman Ed too.
Woo-hoo-hoo. So I'm talking about, Johnny. Yes.
Which is great, man.
Awesome.
But let's get into this, right?
Okay. Yes.
Let's get into it.
Sure,
so I had to get into the easy conversation. First off, Denzel Mills sucked. Let's keep it a buck, okay? Because
Denzel Mims, good,
I remember, the Mike White game when Josh Johnson. I don't know if y'all remember that game, but Josh Johnson had to come in. Okay, Josh Johnson threw him a wide open pass in the end zone where there was nobody. You thought Alan Lazard dropped some balls? Let's talk about how Denzel dropped some ball. Was he fast? Was he elusive and things to that nature? Yes, he was. But the main thing you're supposed to do as a wide receiver in the NFL as a pro athlete is what?
Yeah.
Catch a fucking ball.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to stop acting as if these players that are in the league are not professional athletes. They are. So this comes back to me to talk a little bit about, the players and the coach. Was Wilkes horrible? Hands down, he was.
Terrible,
right? He couldn't adapt. That was his issue. He was so stuck on a lot of stuff and was so stubborn in regards to the different schemes. And I hate using the word schemes and everything, but can you put the blame on him for when you would have Quincy and Sherwood that each and every single freaking play they knew that was coming? It would suck them right in and they would throw the ball right on over them. Is that a coaching thing or is that the linebackers?
It's a good question
Itself, right?
Yeah.
How about the tackling? Right? At one point, did we not lead the league in missed tackles? If I'm not mistaken, last week there was a play where we had like 8 missed tackles all in one shot. Is that on the coach or is that on the players itself? So and then Easy, I do agree with him when he says that we didn't do any kind of stunts. There weren't any kind of blitz packages that were there that we should have been put in, but he's gone. It's done. Wilkes is gone, and I am looking forward to our next defensive coordinator. What I want as a DC, I want a DC that is going to adapt, okay, and have a sure game plan for that game, and we don't come into one not knowing what we do. The players that we had here in the very beginning of the season, they're not here, right? They're gone. The roster has been completely switched and changed of itself because everybody was like, oh, we got all these great defensive players, but I think we might have overrated a lot of these individuals.
Very possible.
So, and let's be honest, like I told you yesterday, BG, I asked you who had the most pressure on it. Was it Wilkes or was it Tanner in itself? And the reason I asked that because you saw the writings on the wall that Wilkes had this record in the back, right? That if this season was not to go well, he was going to be a scapegoat, essentially. He's going to be the one that's going to take the bullets for the squad. How much did he get paid this year?
Who is that?
Steve Wilkes as a DC.
I don't think they released the money, so I'm not sure.
Okay, but I know it's a good amount of money that he got paid, and he's still going to get paid. So Steve Wilkes will be okay. I like Jim Leonard. I'm not gonna front. All right. So I know a lot of people like the Bart Scott. I would love to have Bart Scott here as well. Give him maybe a chance or anything. But I do want somebody. My preference is somebody that kind of has already been coaching and do that. Bring in Bart Scott as a linebacking coach or to that nature. Yeah, why not? Now the Will McDonald piece.
Yeah.
The Will McDonald piece is very intriguing to me because you have a specialist, right, who's kind of having an off season, essentially, right? We could say,
yes.
Wouldn't it make sense financially to tie him up now when it's kind of down before he would get a lot more? Because at one point this season, everybody thought this dude was about to break the single season record when he was at, I don't even know how many sacks he was at, like within like game 4 or something insane to that nature of itself. So right now, man, let's just get through the season, right? Let's see who's going to be the quarterback next year itself. And the last thing,
yes,
and I promise you, I am not attacking Easy, but I am talking to you, Easy, because of all the stuff that you said. You said yesterday that, and I've said this in the past before itself, but I was kidding around constantly, right? Because of the type of wide receivers that we've had and everything. You said that Alan Lazard was a good blocker. That sentence in itself should be more than enough evidence that this dude sucks as a wide receiver, okay? It should never be he's a good blocker. No, that's his number one trait. No, it should be, hey man, he's really good with his hands. He catches the ball at the highest point itself. In traffic he could do that. So, that's my take on regards of everything that's being conversated today. Great conversations, man. I just don't. There's just a lot of blaming right now. Pointing of the fingers of let's be honest. And Frankie said it. Dude, we've sucked. Yeah, maybe the defense last year was better and all that. We still had a losing record. We have not had a winning season in how many years itself? And we're here
10 years, yeah.
We're here nitpicking, talking about, hey man, I'll be happy with 7 to 8 wins. What are we talking about? Dude, I want a winning season. Like I want to be talking about potentially playoffs. We could have went on a 5-0 run and maybe made the playoffs, right? If everything would have broke the way it should have broke for us, but that would have never happened. But yeah, man. So that's my take in regards of the whole Wilkes stuff and Lazard, man. Good luck in Pittsburgh, bro, because that's where he's going.
Yeah. He is, for those who don't know, he is subject to waivers. I don't know who in their right mind would claim Alan Lazard, but if he clears waivers, he could sign it with whoever he wants, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he could go wherever he wants. Yeah.
And dude, there's just a lot, man. Like I said, there has to be a lot of blame too on players too, bro. Like you have to. It can't just be all the coaching was bad. Don't get me wrong, but the truth is, if they don't give an interception, if they don't get this, then that's going to be another conversation that needs to be talked about too going into the end of the year. But you still have Tony Adams out there. You have, Oliver out there. Like, who's
Oliver's out for the season now, so he's gone.
AZ Thomas is out too now, right?
AZ Thomas out for the season, so he's gone. Andre Cisco's out for the season. He's gone. Like, we've lost a lot of people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, at some point, but again, professional. We got I think Harris now is going to be our DC.
Yeah, Chris Harris. That's right. Yeah.
But my take is this: against the Saints,
yeah,
guys are going to be playing with some fire, right? And
Yep.
watch me go off, and it's like some insane amount of like interceptions that we start getting some pick sixes, and then everybody's gonna be like, "Yo, let's keep Harris, man. You saw what Harris did with these guys. Imagine if you would have done with this." So BG, I appreciate you, man. But hey, that hat looks good on you. Jets Pro wide. We will be back soon once I figure out how the hell I'm gonna get out of here.
Mhm.
But the good news is I am getting out of here. I'm feeling a lot more better. The meds are starting to really like work
Mhm.
itself. And again, man, from the bottom of my heart, man, and from my family, we appreciate you guys and everybody that's reached out and been able to just say the kind words, man. Like, you guys do not know how much that really meant to me, man. It really helped me. Like, when I would walk, like, dude, I had to learn how to walk. Like, that's how
Wow.
crazy this was, so it helped out, man. I mean, BGU, Nick, I mean, Jake, I mean, Matt, Dano, man, I mean, Snowball's been since day one. I think Snowball was the one that kind of let everybody know what was
Yeah,
going on.
100%. That's how I found out anything. So, Snowball, thank you for sharing what he could about the situation. It was scary as all heck, man. So, I'm glad that Snowball gave us in tune. And I'm glad, to be honest, the surprise has been when I've seen you in the comment section this week. I was like, what the hell? Johnny Boy, someone gave Johnny Boy his phone. And then I'm like, whoa, we're getting some Johnny Boy call in. So, it's been great. And thank you so much for sharing that positive news here on the show. So many people have been asking about you. So, that's amazing, man. And with what I knew and with Christmas coming around, I'm like, damn, Johnny's going to be locked up in the hospital for Christmas. So, it's amazing to hear that it sounds like with everything going in the right direction, you'll be able to go home with your family. So, blessed be he, man. Thank God.
Hell yeah, man, 100%, dude. And I'm happy, man. And to everybody too, like, all the boys and everything that has constantly reached out. You guys know who you guys are, man. There's just so many that I can't name, and everybody just came and visited at the hospital and stuff like that, man. Like, dude, I was like the Knicks last night, bro, winning that championship and putting it up. You know what I mean?
There you go. Sure.
You know how to throw that in there, man. Go Knicks, baby. Let's get the real championship. That's what we want.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
appreciate you, BG. Keep doing your thing, man. And 7:30 in the morning tomorrow, man. Hey, that's around the time I get up and they give me my meds and all that.
Nice.
So hopefully, you get some more subscribers because them cats, I'm putting them on. So
thanks, brother.
Hey, appreciate you guys, man. Let's go Jets.
There he is, Johnny Boy. Man, what a pleasant surprise to end the show for Johnny. A pleasant surprise for Johnny to end our show today, and a pleasant surprise, that amazing positive news. Prayers up for Johnny Boy. That is absolutely exhilarating. It sounds like he's going to be able to be home for Christmas. God bless. Blessed be he. That is, that's awesome news. We take family for granted all the time, man. We take our health for granted all the time, and that's just a constant reminder that you shouldn't. And anything can happen. So thank you to Johnny Boy. And again, absolutely thank you to everyone that had super chats and memberships today. That's MFC. That's Austrian Jets fan. That's Mahar Khalil. That's Frankie. MFC again. Fox Sports Talk. NC Green. And our boy Trackhawks ATL. Appreciate all you guys and all the love on the program today. Make sure you guys on the way out, if you don't already, like the video here on YouTube. That's a free way to contribute. Also, if you're not already, join the subscriber count. We're over 8,200 subscribers, which is the coolest thing since sliced bread. So I appreciate you guys. It means the world. And that's awesome. And again, everybody with all your raffle tickets, the Jet Santa Funko Pop, and Johnny Boy has a lot of raffle tickets for this prize pack. The Nick Mangold tribute shirt, which real quick, I'll throw it back up on the screen, is this. And awesome. We'll be back in basically an hour. I'm going to be doing a live NFL show. We'll be talking, I'm sure, Jet Saints tanking game. We'll talk about the biggest storylines in the National Football League and so much more. That'll be coming up in about an hour at 11 o'clock live here on this channel on the MC Show digital channel. We'll have our weekly Jake Asman Jets interview coming out. You guys can check that out. on the program as well. That'll be coming out later today. So, folks, appreciate y'all. And then tonight is the Survivor finales for the CBS reality, folks. Our big Survivor fans will be having that later this evening. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you here in a little bit. Take care, everybody.